Hey everybody, it happened again. I got rear-ended in my Ranger Raptor when I was sitting at a stoplight. Fortunately, I had my adventure hammock system in there again. The lady was only going like maybe 6 or 7 miles an hour, so she just hit me, pushed the truck a little bit, but we got a solid frame in here, and that was in the tow hitch, and it didn't get damaged or anything. But still, I've had my driver's license for 27 years. I've never been in any accidents, except for the last 2 months. I've gotten rear-ended twice. Knock on wood, it doesn't happen again. That's the only reason I brought this 2x4 out here. But anyway, the thing that really bothered me about the situation is the lady switched lanes and took off. So we were at a stoplight turning right, and there's 2 lanes turning right. We were on the left of the 2. She hit me, and then the left lane turning lanes cleared out. She went over there and just took off. There was no one coming, so I followed her just to see if maybe, oh, there's a gas station. She's gonna pull into that gas station. She didn't. Next thing down was the Taco Bell. She went right past that as well. I had my 2 daughters in the car. I had my dash cam on for the entire thing, so I didn't keep chasing her down. I mean, that was not going to end well no matter what, because really, my intention was not to like exchange insurance information and yell at her and say, what the hell were you thinking? It was more just to say, hey, I don't have any damage. I think we're good to go unless you really want to exchange information. But she didn't even give me that opportunity, so that kind of bothered me. Like I said, I did get dash cam of it. I'm not planning on filing a police report or going through insurance for anything because I don't have anything to file a claim on. But it's just, you know, she had her daughter in the car. That's not a very good example to set for your kids. If you hit somebody, pull over and chat with them. Granted, we didn't want to stop traffic. If we had stopped right there, it would have backed everybody out on a Friday afternoon trying to get home from work. But we definitely could have pulled into a gas station or a parking lot. That said, this has happened twice. The first time it happened, the guy hit me a little bit from the side, but not like, well, a little bit straight from the back, but off-canted a little bit coming in this way. So it hit the same adventure hammock system, but actually bent it and broke the weld. This time the lady hit me straight on, and I went and replaced it last time for 140 bucks, put a new one in there, and I'll show you what it is actually. That way you're not just guessing. So this is my adventure hammock system. This is a hitch mount. It has a little locking pin in here that screws in so it holds it from rattling around. This is made out of 1/4-inch steel. The cross tube and the tube that goes into the receiver. Your receiver is big old beefy 1/4-inch steel. So the thing I really like about this, when I got hit the first time, the car hit me sort of from the side, not enough to hit anything over here, but it bent this thing in and it broke this weld. But to me, that's not the point of this thing in any way, but it served a purpose in that it absorbed that force instead of it coming and hitting the bumper. And even if this thing had crumpled, it wouldn't have put all that force into the 1/4-inch steel nearly as badly if it hit straight into it. I don't know if that makes sense or not, but in my mind, if this crumples up, that's absorbing that energy so it doesn't go into the frame of your truck at a jarring impact. It took a little bit of that and acted as a spring almost. This time, the lady that hit me straight on, and really, there's nothing wrong with this weld. I don't see any cracking or anything like that. There's just a couple marks on here where I just got to put some black paint on it so it doesn't rust. But overall, I mean, this thing held up great. And I want to show you what this thing is actually for. So I keep this thing on my truck all the time, and I keep these poles in the back of my truck all the time. Anytime I take my kids to volleyball or the horse stables or anything like that, I just hang out in my hammock, and it's pretty awesome. So it definitely serves 2 purposes. First of all, it saved the back of my truck. Second of all, it's an awesome hammock. It also gets some attention, which is cool. I like my truck. I like it when people say, hey, that's awesome, I wish I had that. And the crazy thing is, before I actually got hit, I was laying in my hammock at Target just chilling out, and a couple people swung by and said, hey man, that's the way to go. And people are joking around like, oh, is your wife in there shopping? So stuff like that. But anyway, it all worked out well. I just was really frustrated that the lady just took off after she hit my truck. So it is what it is. My wife wants to file a police report. I got a picture of the license plate and all that stuff. And yeah, we could go down that route. I don't know that I look at it almost as a waste of the police officer's time because they have more important stuff to do. There are people out there doing crazy stuff. They need to be stopping DUIs. They need to be responding to actual car accidents where people could be injured, or the insurance definitely needs to get involved. Granted, yes, that lady wasn't paying attention and she hit my truck. That's, you know, that's an issue. She should get a ticket for that. Leaving the scene of a crime, if you want to call it that, but hitting someone and driving away, that's also a big deal. So yes, I could go through all this. I don't know that I want to. I'm curious what you guys think. So would you pursue this, or would you just move on and enjoy the rest of your weekend? That's really what I'm looking at. I don't want to spend an hour at the police station or even 20 minutes. I don't want to go to the police station to deal with this, but It's frustrating to me that this is the example that lady set for her daughter and that she just got away with it. So, I mean, maybe she feels bad about it and she won't hit another person, she'll pay attention, but it's just crazy to me that that's what people do nowadays, is when you hit somebody, you gotta stop and talk to them. So anyway, curious what you all think. The truck's okay. I'm super happy that nothing bad happened. It wasn't higher speed or anything like that. And then it didn't break this one, because then I have to spend another $140 and get a new one of these. And I think this time, now that I have the license plate, I would absolutely go through the police and file a report and go through insurance to get her insurance to pay it. But the downside to that is this thing's $140. Deductibles are like $500. It's her fault, so she'd have to pay that. But then I have an accident on my record, even though I'm not at fault. I don't know if that goes on to the truck as being in an accident as well, even though nothing happened. So I don't know that the pros outweigh the cons on that. So anyway, that's the whole video. I'm working on my 20,000 mile review and update. I'm not gonna go over everything I've always talked about in the past reviews. I have a couple really good ideas, like 5 upgrades that I really like the most, 5 things I wish were different, 5 notes about the truck that you should know before you buy it, 5 great things I love about the truck, 5 things that they could have done better, things like that. So it's not gonna be one of my standard 45-minute where I just pontificate about things I like and don't like. It's gonna be a little more structured. That's it, everybody. Cheers. Hopefully you have a great weekend. I'm not letting this get me down. I just wanted to share it with you guys. So that's it. Cheers.
It's over!